afternoon. It's Jim in beautiful Beaverton, Oregon. It's the 26th of May and it's cloudy outside as usual in Oregon. Everywhere else in the country it's hot and here it's cloudy. So anyhow, we're going to do part 2 of our video on making the fruiting mushroom block so we can create a mushroom of our own. So in the last one, I want to backtrack a little bit. I created these petri dishes with mycelium in them from a mushroom which I captured, or mushrooms, they're the real thing, in the presence of this laminar flow hood so I could do it in sterile conditions. I then took this and transferred it to a rye grain bottle. This is just a fake here. And let this grow out. But what I forgot to tell everybody in the last one was before I put this in here under those conditions, I took this, covered it in tin foil like so, and I put it in this pressure cooker for 90 minutes at 15 pounds. So we'll get that out of the way. Now we're going to go back. I'll tell you a little more about the pressure cooker in a while here. What we're going to do today is we're going to make the material that we make the fruiting block out of and show you where we go from there. So what we're going to start with, by the way, this is my mix. I dreamed this up out of the blue. It's pretty much like other people's mixes. So you do whatever you want, or there's a bunch of them on the internet, and this is what we're using. So I've got, this is wood pellets, like these are Traeger wood pellets for my wood pellet stove. I'm going to use 2.5 cups of these, which, 2.5 quarts, which is 10 cups. I'm going to use 2.5 liters of water, which is a little bit more. So 2.5 liters of water, 2.5 quarts of pellets, and 2.5 cups of wheat bran, which is a kind of a, I don't know what it is, there's not much to it, but this is apparently what the mushrooms like to eat. It's very light and fluffy kind of a stuff. So we're going to take this, mix it all up in a tub, and let it set for a while, because it takes these a while. These will turn into sawdust real quick, but give them an hour or two and then come back and mix it all up again. Mix these two up first, and then put the bran in and mix it up again, and it makes a kind of a pleasant stuff. So what we do is we take the material then, and we're going to put it in a bag. This is a unicorn bag. Unicorn is the brand name. There are various kinds of these. These are very nice bags. They're gusseted bags. They're designed for making fruiting blocks. See, they come apart. As you fill them, you shake them down using the gusset, and then you go fold this over. This is the smallest one they make. I'm using that because there's only me eating the mushrooms, so I'm not, feeding the masses. I'm making little bitty blocks. So what we did is we take this, and I'm putting a pound in each one of these to start with, and then there'll be a pint of this, so you'll have something a little less than 1.5 pounds at the end. So I make those blocks, and I fold this over, and now I have a block, and I will show you in a minute. We'll see where we go with this. So this is a Presto pressure cooker. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I believe it's 23 quarts. Something just over 20 quarts. It's a very common one to have. If you look in the bottom of it, this is called a trivet. I think it is anyhow. I have these metal electrical boxes. They make them mostly out of plastic anymore, but they sit on the bottom and they keep this up off the bottom pretty high enough so I can put at least 3 quarts of water in there. And my bags, when I put them in, or these bottles, will stay up off of the water. I saw this on YouTube and I can't find it again to give the guy credit. So if I do at any other time, I'll let you know who thought that up with the electrical boxes, but they're really good. So anyhow, I filled these sacks with this material. I put them in here with this folded down, and I put a plate on top. Put this on here. So, and then about 3 quarts of water in there, and then you put this on the burner. You start it up on relatively high. You can take this off to start with. There's a little thing here that's going to exit air from it that will kind of splutter and do things like that. And then it's finally going to come up and pop, and don't let it scare you. And then it's in place. And then you're going to start getting steam out of here. This is a, call it a rocker. This particular one is set for 15 pounds. You can get them for different poundage. I've never had another one, but so this will go to 15 pounds. This will start rocking. You can get it to like about 4 on the stove and cook it for 2 hours. Then we're going to turn it off, and we're going to set it in wherever we're going to work this and let it set overnight, and then it'll be ready to go. So when we get this cooked, we're going to take it in front of the laminar flow hood, which again, this is a HEPA filter with a fan. So this is clean air in here. So we're going to hold this when it's full. We're going to have one of these with the lid off, all in here and all sterile. And then we're going to take the lid off of here. We're going to dump this into there. We're going to stretch this bag out, so, and we're going to put it on our impulse sealer. This is what this does is you set it at a certain setting, push it down, it'll go, and then click when it's done. You take it off and it will seal this. So you can picture doing all that. We'll get a little more specific maybe in another YouTube. Then you let it set in a cupboard for, in this case, I think it's been 3 weeks, and you end up with this. And this is a fruiting block. This is the blue. We also have beech. I made 6 of these. You can see the mycelium has come all the way down, almost to the bottom. This is what the stuff looks like when you get ready to inoculate it. That's more or less the fresh stuff before it's been inoculated. So the next step for this is to go right back where I started in my fruiting chamber, tip it over, we're going to cut it, and we're going to hopefully get mushrooms. And so the next time you see this video, it'll have real live mushrooms that we grew from a mushroom. So that's the end of this one. What I would tell you for my tip of the day is get yourself one of these giant mixing cups. It'll come in handy over and over again. If you're like me, these, if you notice my directions, they come in quarts, they come in liters. You know, you can use this to do all kinds of things for mixing things up and such and go back and forth. I finally have just given up and I go liters and quarts, and there's even directions out there that have both on it. So tip of the day, get yourself a giant measuring cup. You'll be happy with it. I will see you next week.